Afternoon, everyone, and thanks for joining us. This is Hamlet and Ophyllia.
Hi.
Hey, hun. And we are today going to talk about the knowledge review that I performed with Swift and the feelings and thoughts behind it.
Okay, so you did an online knowledge review for Swift, and that was sent to you by your recruiter.
Correct.
Okay, and we understand that not everyone has the option to do so online. Sometimes if you're in the 3-week session, you do this down at the training facility?
That is correct. They had two different ways to go ahead and make that happen in Swift with your training. One of them is to actually go to the place where they do the hands-on training in the various training areas and give you a 3-week course. The other version is a 2-week course in which you do 1 week online, and then the other 2 weeks you go ahead and go to the various training facilities. I believe being in Wisconsin, I'm going to go to Tennessee of all places. It's the closest one, so I'm going to go there and spend a couple of weeks training.
Okay. So just to be clear, it's not that the online training is 2 or 3 weeks. It's just that this portion will cut down your time. If you can do it online at home, then you'll be at the training facility for 2 weeks. If they want you to do it down there, it's a 3-week course.
That is correct.
Okay. That is absolutely. Okay, so you received this from your recruiter in email, and it was a link to the material?
That's correct. It was linked to a third-party website that I could go ahead and go to, and if I had any problems, just contact her, or I could call the website itself, and we can work through anything.
Okay, how long did your knowledge review take?
It took really hard to say. I took it at my own pace, so I mean, I would take and do a few hours here, a few hours there. I would say overall, it probably took me about 10 to 12 hours at that point.
So it's pretty lengthy. So people should make sure they have time to work on it.
Yeah, it's lengthy, and I wanted to make sure I got the questions right, so I just didn't bam, bam, bam anything down. So, yeah, at that point, it took me a little longer. But, once I was done, I spoke to my recruiter, and she quickly summarized the score, and I got a 96 out of 100. So I really can't argue.
Okay, and you didn't really feel much pressure by the recruiter, did you? To get it done in a certain amount of time?
Not at all. I mean, initially I might have put pressure on myself to get it done because I'm just so excited to go ahead and get moving into trucking. But, yeah, she really didn't drop any hammers on me or anything.
Okay, what kind of questions did the knowledge review have?
It had a lot of things that you could do to learn some of the parts of the trucks themselves, on how to maybe drive in certain conditions with safety questions, as well as questions about the trailers themselves and how to go ahead and get those hooked up and how to be on the road with them.
Okay, great. What did you like about the test?
I liked I could take it at my own pace. Like I said, it took me about 10 to 12 hours. One of those days I thought I was going to get it done for my recruiter on a Monday. I had to call her. I was having internet issues pretty much throughout the day, so I couldn't even load the pages that were going to that. It was nice to be able to do that at my own pace.
Great. What didn't you like?
I didn't like how it was written. I've done these things numerous times. I've created them myself. And generally, when you go into a training session, you learn information, and then you go ahead and test on it. With this, I felt I learned information, but the questions themselves weren't there from the previous learning. So I felt like I was pretty much on my own if I hadn't learned it myself.
So it was like the questions didn't match up with the chapter that you just learned.
Absolutely.
So you were tested on material that might not have even been presented yet.
Absolutely. Not only just presented, but presented at all. I want to point that out as well and make sure everyone's clear.
Okay, so maybe people might want to have ready the ability to go look things up on the internet while they're taking their knowledge review.
Absolutely. Okay. And I promoted some of that I used apps to go ahead and learn some of this stuff as well. I suggest getting those apps on your phone and starting to review things.
Could you just name those real quick?
Here, let me get my phone. Hold on. All right. And some of the apps, one of them is called CDL Prep. The second one is called CDL Study Buddy, and then CDL Test Prep. Those are the three prevalent ones I use.
And they were all free?
They were all free. Yeah, they all got great ratings. So I went with those, and I use all three. I think they all offer a different thing as far as how to study for it in various ways, and I like the way they works in sort of harmony with each other.
Nice. So do we even know why you had to take this knowledge review, this review and test, test? Because there were several chapters of it. It took you a good deal of time. Do we even know what it's for? Is it for your permit or?
It certainly is going to tie in with that. I mean, if you haven't taken your permit yet, I'm sure there's stuff in there that will directly correlate with it. I mean, the questions themselves weren't bad questions, so I'm sure they're questions that are going to be on the test or something to this effect. But on the same note, it could be that it's just general knowledge that Swift itself wants you to learn before they do it. It might just be their standards that they want you to understand and know.
So we're not quite sure, but it wasn't a bad thing to have to do.
Certainly not.
Okay, great. Okay, well, that's all I have for you today.
All right. Thanks much, babe.
Thank you.
Yeah, everyone, just keep at it, keep on trucking, and we will go ahead and talk to you later, all right? Have a good one.